losing streak since mid-October, the Dow rising 97 points, the Nasdaq down 51, S&P 500 up 3. And Uber's business continued to recover in the first quarter as pandemic restrictions eased, and the sale of its self-driving unit helped produce the smallest quarterly loss in its history as a public company. Uber's results beating earnings and revenue expectations, with its gross bookings rising 24% year over year, an all-time high, with ride volumes improving and its delivery business still on a tear. And PayPal saw a record amount of volume flow through its platform in the first quarter as the e-commerce wave continued even amid the gradual reopening of the economy. Shares of PayPal are spiking after hours after the company topped expectations with its latest results and raised its full-year outlook. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Summer's right around the corner, and the coolest new shirts just arrived at Untuckit. We have performance shirts that wick sweat, short sleeve styles to beat the heat, and our comfortable polos. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they're just the thing to look and feel cool in the summer heat. And Untuckit shirts are perfect as we transition back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, and vacations too. When the heat is on, the #1 shirt to keep you cool is Untuckit. Use code SUMMER for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Did you know that about 20% of all U.S. dollars were created in 2020? Yeah, most people don't know that. What do you think the effect of all those newly printed dollars will lead to? Inflation? Maybe. Certainly it won't lead to the dollar becoming more valuable. In the past, people have purchased gold and silver as a hedge against inflation. That's because gold and silver have increased in value as the purchasing power of the dollar decreases. Buying real gold and silver, the kind you can hold in your hands,
(955-1400). That's been the KBFD number since the late 60s, I think. Big day for me tomorrow, Matt. I get to sit on my butt 4 hours waiting for Mediacom to show up and fix a problem that happened on Sunday. You know where I'm going with this. Are we going to get our own broadband here in Fort Dodge anytime soon, or what's the progress on that?
Yeah, it's moving forward. The council is continued to support the process of getting design work done, and we'll be getting to the point where we'll have to figure out financing.
How much you need? I got a couple hundred on me.
I think the initial build of the infrastructure would be in the 16 million range, and then the total build out and startup of the utilities probably close to 26 million.
Okay. Do we need to float a bond for that? Or
Those would be revenue bonds.
revenue bonds?
That would be backed by the potential revenue of the utility itself.
Right. So this would really be an investment when we're talking.
It would be an
bonds.
investment, yes.
Right. That would be paid off in time, and then hopefully a profit.
There would be any profit would go back into the utility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the intent of it. I believe one of the next upcoming steps would be that the city would create a utilities board, a board that would actually oversee the operation of that utility outside of the council. And there's some other steps. There's some other things that need to take place still. But yes, it is moving forward.
I'm really
It's
happy
moving about
to
as fast as government moves.
that fast, huh?
Well, it's fast in comparison to other parts of government. But yeah, there's a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot. And there is an active lawsuit between one of the service providers, I don't want to say names, in a city in Iowa that is of interest to us to see what happens with that. I don't want to name. No, it's a different. It's a city in Iowa and one of the providers. They have an active.
You
lawsuit.
are being closed.
Well, if somebody really wants to look it up, they can. But I don't want to advertise it on your show or publicly. I don't want to create a reason for any entity to want to involve the city of Fort Dodge in any kind of legal action.
Now that I understand.
I'm being careful because I don't want to cause myself any grief.
Yeah.
Or the city or our citizens.
I love all these lawyer shows where you have these dedicated attorneys dedicated to solving crimes and to punishing the guilty. I think most lawyers sue people, don't they?
Well,
I'll have Nevin Mulholland in here on Friday.
There's two sides of every lawsuit.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. Well, I hope it.
Every proceeding has two sides. So.
Criminal
or civil.
Or mine, which is kind of, takes precedence over any other silly damn side.
Yeah.
Anyway, Matt Bemrich is our guest. I just want to take a break for the mayor just a minute to say once again that the Friends of the Public Library book sale is going on now. My house is full of books, and my son and anybody who knows me or ever comes over the house says, why don't you get rid of all these books? I can't. I have some sort of hoarder obsession with books. So I got on the Friends of the Public Library sale on Tuesday, yesterday. And I know I'm not going to buy any books. So I walked out with 2 bags full, of course. But it was only $20. I mean, and I bought the bags. The bags were $12.
Yeah.
So I got all these big books, and I started rationalizing to myself right away. Well, I can throw some away or dedicate them to not almost home, but the men's shelter.
Beacon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beacon or whatever.
I'm just here to fill in the gaps, folks.
You're doing a pretty good job. I need a younger man in here to kind of say, wake up. Wake up. So anyway,
maybe I won't run for office again, and I'll just take over your show.
You could do that.
I'll sit there and complain.
You were offered the job before.
Yeah, I don't.
What did you say?
I said no.
No. The money's lousy.
Yeah, I don't think it really pay my bills.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I've got a pretty good gig going where I'm at.
I think you probably do.
I've worked pretty hard to get to that point.
That's what is required. Your grandpa started the business out of the back of his pickup truck, didn't he?
Pickup truck, a loose leaf notebook, and my grandma doing handwritten invoices in 1984.
I know your grandfather has passed, as your grandmother as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. I still believe in libraries. I know some believe that they're a thing of the past, but I hope that's not the truth.
I don't know if you touched on this today, but we have an extremely important event coming up.
What is that?
It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well, Mom's listening to us today,
Yeah.
I think.
My mom's listening, your mom. So there's 2 people that pay attention to us.
I always said that. Well, nobody listens to your show. Mom does.
Mom does. Moms do. Yeah.
Actually, there's several people on your side of the aisle that listen to my show just waiting for me to screw up.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, my side of I didn't know I had a side of the aisle.
Yeah, well,
I kind of like to stand in the middle of the aisle.
I know. Well, and you do a better job of it than most people. You do a better job.
I've tried.
Yeah. I
Tried to stay very neutral. You got to work with who's in the elected positions around you.
right.
So there's no reason to be adversarial all the time. I know I've taken some political positions or some political. I've picked some candidates a couple times,
Well,
but I've also voted for candidates on both sides of the aisle.
Well, you made a stand for city employee unions here a while ago,
Yeah.
and that was an unusual position for a small businessman in a small town.
Yeah.
Most small businessmen want.
I just believe if you want to have a good municipality, you need good employees, and in the structure that we have, which involves unions, you need to treat those employees well, and protecting unions and in their right to collectively bargain. I just truly believe in. I believe that people should be able to collectively get together and say what's in the interest of us as employees. In the opposite on the other side, I think municipalities should be able to get together, the elected folks in management, and say what's in the interest of not just those employees, but of our constituency. And if they work well together and not adversarial all the time, they can provide good service.
All right. Well,
What do you got going on over?
Well, I'm trying to adjust my microphone boom here so that people can see your face.
Well,
and by the way, you can hear this program.
I agreed to be on the radio. I didn't know I was going to be on
video. Didn't I? I had this.
Channel.
I had this before you.
Yeah,
before I got sick.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Really?
I'm a fan of being on Facebook.
But people know what you look like. You have one of the most recognizable faces in the whole town.
I don't know about that.
What, you think the mayor? What? I mean, you're always in the paper.
Well, yeah, but that picture's a good picture. I'm in here today wearing a hoodie and a ball cap. I came from work.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong. We're a working town. Come on, man.
I know.
Straighten it out.
I am too. I'm a working guy.
Yeah, you know me.
I haven't turned wrenches for a long time.
I live in the past. I used to live down on South 20th Street. I'd get in my car, go down there, and there were bars on both sides on 22nd Street there.
Yeah.
And I'd hit everyone twice, and then I'd go home. Those were the days.
There was still quite a few of those when I got to the drinking age in Fort Dodge. There was a lot of bars. There's nowhere near the.
And they all made a living.
Yeah. And there you'd go into them, and there was always, half dozen to a dozen gals in there having a cocktail after work.
I've told you the story, and I've told it to the audience before. My first job on radio, not surprisingly, it was from 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. I got off at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And of course, this was before the packing plants closed. So I'd drive home and stop at the Chesterfield, which opened at 6.
Yeah.
The whole place was full. I mean, the jukebox was blasting. They had guys in a pool tournament, and people are having chili and beer. 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Abe Castiglione was behind the bar singing songs.
They worked third shift somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they did. But I couldn't hardly find a seat.
I mean, Fort Dodge really does not sleep. If you think about the industry in our community, there is a lot of 24/7 industry going on around here.
Do the labs still do that? I worked at the labs for
still 24/7 coverage at the labs. All the gypsum mills, I believe, still operate at 24/7.
Really?
I don't know if they do all 7 all the time. It depends on what's going on in the building industry.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a couple of quarries that I think run 24/7. You got Cargill, CJ, Koch Industries. There's a lot of 24/7 operations around here.
Well, that's good. They used to have a couple of restaurants downtown, like breakfast.
Fast Freddy's. Loved their conies.
B&J's Cafe. And anyway, I duck in to have breakfast.
When I was an apprentice electrician, we were rewiring the courthouse with O'Brien Construction. O'Brien was the general. We were the electrical. And we would walk over to Fast Freddy's in the morning, get cinnamon rolls at break time and a cup of coffee.
Oh, Brownies had the best doggone cinnamon rolls in the world.
And then we'd go to Fast Freddy's and get conies at lunch. And
I forgot about Brownies.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing early morning radio, I used to stop in at 4:30 in the morning, and Mrs. Brown would be in there by herself.
Yeah.
And I'd have a cup of coffee, and I'd just wait until those cinnamon rolls. And the whole place smelled like cinnamon rolls. Oh, God. That was so great. And she wouldn't even say anything.
Did you ever eat at Sudden Service Cafe?
Sure, Doug Herr, absolutely.
Doug Herr. He had the Brass Monkey Special, which was like a hamburger, steak, and eggs.
Yeah,
it was called the Brass Monkey Special.
I'll tell you one thing. I tell you one thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of good diner, greasy spoon type places.
Oh,
downtown.
God. Well, and Doug Hurt took a lot of pride in his place. Some people don't believe that. I once referred to the place to his face, and this was a big mistake, as the Sudden Death Cafe.
Oh,
Yeah,
but I'm surprised he didn't throw you out.
Oh, he was ready to. I was backpedaling fast. Boy, I was apologizing. But he was telling me to get out. There's no doubt. Doug was kind of wound up anyway, And no, I shouldn't.
He was a good old guy.
He was really good. I mean, I'd go in there every
Hell
day.
of a cook.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that flat top grill and he made everything on that thing.
Yes, he did. And then when you were done, he'd come over to you and say, "You get enough to eat?" And I said, "Yeah, you bet I did."
You full? Yeah, I'm good. He'd make those hamburgers. He'd just whip out a hamburger and start pattying it up and seasoning. And
he was old
pound
school.
out a hamburger steak and throw it on the grill and crack eggs, hash browns. It was good stuff.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Tilly's Tnt Cafe. Now there was another great place.
Wow, I never made it in there. I've heard that name.
Tilly was an older lady, wore Dolly Parton wigs, and always had like a 1.5-inch ash on her cigarette at all times. Behind the counter,
The Marge Simpson.
Yeah. But she was pouring coffee and stuff, and making food and stuff. Always had that damn cigarette.
Yeah. Funny.
And then later in the day there was Habab's Pool Hall. They had the greatest greasy cheeseburgers on the face.
Good cheeseburgers. Yeah.
Oh, the greatest.
I've heard those stories. That was a little before my time, also.
Yeah. Gosh, I think it was Paul and his brother. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Those were good days, and we look forward to better days. Frankly.
Yeah. I think things are on the uptick in Fort Dodge and have been for a number of years, and we got a lot of positive things going on in our community. I guess strong schools, and I think our city government, our county government are doing good things. Our elected leaders are doing everything they can to complement some of the things we've been doing. So
your kids all went
things
to
are
St.
good.
Edmunds, right?
No, actually, the only one that graduated from St. Ed's is Jackson.
The oldest one? No, he's
the
the
middle one. Yep. Carter graduated Fort Dodge Senior High, and Grant's at Fort Dodge High, and he's a senior.
Okay.
The other thing going on Sunday,
Hmm.
my mom gets to share Mother's Day with my dad's birthday this year.
Really?
And that happens every once in a
The
while.
big Greg is gonna have his birthday on. So we're gonna have a keg and cake.
I don't know about that. Probably a couple cans of Bud Light.
I would suspect.
Probably a couple cans of Bud Light. He'll be in his garden all weekend, I would imagine.
How old is the big guy now?
He'll be 66.
66.
Yeah.
No plans to retire in sight. Of course.
Yeah, he's kind of figuring his path out.
Of course,
how he wants to do it.
I could take Social Security at 65, and I don't think guys his age
I think
could.
he was 60. No, I don't know. No, he got Medicare and Medicaid at 65 because I think you still get it at 65.
Why not?
He might be 66 and a half. First, I don't know.
There was something. I know that your dad was in guys his age who are a little younger, 3-4 years younger than I am. There was a cutoff line, and I think Greg, I was talking to him one time, and he said that he lost.
Yeah.
He lost in that cutoff time deal, and
I think he was short like 6 months or something. For that cutoff.
Right.
The other thing that didn't happen this spring that normally does is the home builder steak fry.
Oh,
but we have kind of talked about maybe doing one late summer, early fall, trying to do something now that
I hope so.
Vaccinations have happened and all this stuff, and we might be able to pull off a home builder steak fry late summer, early spring, or early fall.
You and the Lions Club.
The Lions, I believe, still is having theirs.
I haven't heard that. I guess.
I believe so. I think it's this Thursday.
This coming Thursday.
I think so.
Well, hot-foot it right down there then.
Let me look. I think it might be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I think so.
Anybody know that? Give me a call, 955-1400.
I think the Lions Club might be tomorrow.
I used to know a couple of the guys over at the Lions Club. It's kind of faded away.
I think Jim Gill was in and sold some tickets to my dad.
Okay.
I'll have to look at the tickets. It might be tomorrow.
Well, I know where I'll be tomorrow then.
Yeah, that's a good meal.
I'll have to creep on down to Amigos now since we talked about that pizza. Anyway, if anybody knows about the Lions Club steak fry, if it's not tomorrow, it's a week from tomorrow or whatever the deal is. 955-1400.
And they usually come in and kind of hype that up on your show, but I don't
Always.
think everybody knows you're back on yet.
It's my first week. It's only my third day.
Yeah.
We didn't take
So are we gonna? move me to Wednesday, or you want to go back to our Thursday 4 o'clock?
Well,
What do you
I'm
wanna
glad you
do?
brought that up. But you want Wednesday or Thursday?
I don't care.
Take the job. Let's go back to Thursday since you
Thursday
were.
at 4 o'clock.
You've been Thursday for a long
I
time.
was Thursday at 4 o'clock forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can next week. We'll do Thursday at 4 o'clock.
that's fine. Good.
You can put that out.
Yeah.
Let people know.
I will. I certainly will. What'd you do with Ferrick? I couldn't get him on the air this week.
Felix laid up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's all right.
Okay.
He'll be okay.
All right. He wasn't down in Iowa City protesting the end of the men's swimming team or something.
No,
was he?
no, he's just got some stuff going on.
All right.
So
That's, it happens. Lord knows I know that. Gosh, we got got completely off track here again. And I had a couple of questions lined up that I wanted to ask you that as soon as we're off the air, of course, I will remember. Of course, I don't believe in making any notes or writing anything down or preparation.
Oh, that'd make no sense whatsoever.
So, let's get back to road construction in our city. What else is going to happen the rest of the year?
Oh, wow. Well, we haven't even started on the overlays yet. I think I want to say there's like 1.2 million in blacktop overlays to do this summer. That's Fort Dodge Asphalt doing those. And there's more sewer and storm sewer work coming up. We just awarded a couple of trail projects and some other rehab work. We still have Williams Drive tore up going up to that new lift station. That's still in construction. Over on the southeast side of town, there's work going on. I think there's part of the first chunk of work on the West Side River river work to go on. I think there's some work that's supposed to happen in the river this year still in relation to the dams and some of the river work there. There'd be some work coming up down at the bottom of Central. You got me on. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head.
Well, needless to say, there's plenty of street work.
There's a lot of work
Okay.
still to be. There'll be a lot more detours.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that will be very unpopular. If you follow the city's Facebook page, we put them on there pretty much on a daily basis. We try to update road closures, all those different, just getting information out there. Junk Days on Demand starts. So they start taking requests next week on Monday. Junk Days on Demand is where you get a call in and say, hey, I want this day. And then we come to your house and pick all the stuff up and haul it away for you. That's coming. That starts next week. They start taking appointments for that. So,
we're going to have to go, man.
all right. Happy birthday to my dad and happy Mother's Day to everyone out there.
All right. This is AM 1400 KVFD, the voice of Fort
This
Dodge.
is Gary Rima, the voice of the UNI Panthers, and you can listen to exciting Panther sports right here on the voice of Fort Dodge.
Cautious optimism. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says if the U.S. stays on track with COVID vaccinations, the toll of the virus will go down dramatically this summer.
The models projected a sharp decline in cases by July 2021 and an even faster decline if more people get vaccinated sooner.
Director Rochelle Walensky, but she says if unvaccinated people don't follow public health guidelines like social distancing, hospitalizations and deaths could go up substantially. More than 56% of the nation's adults have gotten at least one dose of a vaccine, according to the CDC. Yesterday, President Biden set a goal of 70% of adults with at least one dose by July 4th. The Justice Department says it will appeal a federal judge's ruling that found the CDC exceeded its authority when it put a moratorium on evictions during the pandemic. A jury in Rome has sentenced two American friends to life in prison in the 2019 killing of an Italian police officer in a drug sting gone bad. The jury deliberated for more than 12 hours before delivering the verdicts for Finnegan Lee Elder and Gabriel Natali Yorth. Former President Trump isn't coming back to Facebook, at least not anytime soon. He released a statement after the Facebook Oversight Board released its decision.
He called Facebook, Twitter, and Google, quote, corrupt and an embarrassment, saying they must, quote, pay a political price. Facebook's Oversight Board voted to uphold the ban, agreeing with the social media